Republican side for the order that the members on your side will offer the amendments. He has already given me your name earlier, but I want to let you proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If it's okay, Senator Blackburn, I think you have a couple of amendments. And as we get involved in this process, I just want to, when we did subpoenas of Crossfire Hurricane, one of the most corrupt investigations in the history of the country, can't remember, 16, 20 votes, can't remember what it was. So I'm glad we're having votes. I just want to remind the public who may still be watching this for some odd reason, this is going nowhere. This is a political exercise. And Mr. Chairman, I'm still dumbfounded that after voting a bill out of the committee that supposedly fixes this problem from your point of view, why we haven't brought it up to the floor. I mean, you have a solution, you say it was voted out of the committee and it's never been brought to the floor. You're doing an investigation to fix a problem that you've already had a legislative solution for. What are we, if you want to fix the problem, try to pass the bill that you claim fixes the problem. The reason we haven't voted on that bill, Mr. Chairman, and never will, is because there's just not the votes. This is incredibly, in my view, unconstitutional. So we'll play this game for a while. Nothing will happen. The subpoenas never get issued. The bill never gets voted on. But it's important enough to destroy the committee.
Senator
Senator,
Graham, would you
yield for a
yield to a
question?
question? No, I defer to Senator Cornyn.
We're in the amendment stage.
Would
The
the
only-
senator yield for a question?
Just 1 second, please. We're in the amendment stage. What I'll say to my colleagues is we're going to finish this today. And Senator,
We're going to finish this bill today?
the amendments to the bill today. Senator Blackburn
Wow.
will be the first Republican you want recognized.
Thank you,
I
Mr.
was asked the senator to yield for a question while he had the floor.
Wait a minute,
if
I
I'm not
want to know,
mistaken.
like,
I'll
so,
certainly defer to Senator Blackburn,
Got
but.
12
but
minutes to finish this
I think the
bill?
practice
Well-
here in the Senate is if senators has the floor and another senator asks them to yield to a question and they say, yes, I will, that
Go
then
ahead
that
to Senator
senator
Graham.
has the floor.
yes, you can definitely, well, one, are we going to be able to debate this bill? What happens? What's the game plan? What do
Depends on
you intend to do?
Of course, it's in your hands. 177 amendments are pending. That's not the first time we've had that number before the committee.
We said we're going to vote on it today.
I said we're going to finish the
So
bill
wait,
today.
what does today mean?
Today is
Today at noon?
Thursday.
Is that when we're going to vote on this bill? When are we going to vote on the bill today?
Stay here as long as you wish to offer amendments.
Okay, so we can waive the 2-hour rule.
No, I don't know that the 2-hour rule has been invoked, but you remember we went through this before with Vanita
Okay,
Gupta.
so basically, you're giving us today, which is Thursday. Wow, okay,
Would the senator yield for a question?
absolutely.
These are private citizens that the majority of the committee seeks to subpoena, correct? Senator Graham?
Yes.
Are you familiar with any legitimate legislative purpose for subpoenaing private citizens?
I think this is a charade politically motivated to attack the integrity of the Roberts Court, to act on what they said they wanted to do to destroy Clarence Thomas's reputation. I think if they really cared about the ethics practices of the court, we would be looking into Sotomayor's situation, Justice Sotomayor, where staff members apparently called people, you need to sell some books if she's going to speak. So, yeah, I think this is all politically motivated. I think the two private citizens involved, particularly Leonard Leo, is at the top of the guy I hate most list in the conservative world. I think this is despicable, what they're doing to these people. I think it's bad for the country. I think this is a joke simply because the bill to fix the problem they claim it exists, they won't even bring it up to the floor. So this is an investigation of private citizens, Senator Cornyn, that I think is politically motivated, not legislatively motivated. Because if you wanted to pass legislation, you've already done it out of committee. All you got to do is bring it to the floor. You're in charge. So no, I think it's patently obvious. There's no legislative purpose. This is designed to get people they don't like and try to destroy Clarence Thomas.
If the senator will yield for one more question, we heard some discussion about precedent earlier. The chairman cited what he claimed to be a precedent. I'm not clear that that's actually the case, but in other words, that the rule's been violated before, and so now that sets a precedent for that action. It becomes the norm. So what limitation is there on the majority of the Judiciary Committee issuing subpoenas to private citizens for any purpose that they may please?
That's the heart
That's
of
the
the matter.
precedent that will be set, correctly?
Anybody we don't like, for whatever reason, will begin to subpoena on a partisan basis. The people I wanted to subpoena were involved in a corrupt investigation conducted by the Department of Justice called Crossfire Hurricane. The court rebuked, the FISA court rebuked the Department of Justice and FBI lawyers for misleading the court. Here, we have efforts to bring in 2 private citizens associated with Clarence Thomas. There is no effort to go after other situations involving judges that may have done something untoward. So what we're doing now is using this committee as sort of a political vendetta. If you don't like a couple of people who are active on the other side, we're going to subpoena you. Yeah, I really.
And that would be the precedent that would be set.
Yeah, I think so. And I didn't do that. Senator Grassley didn't do that. We actually worked together to issue subpoena for tech CEOs.
Senator Graham, would you yield for another question?
Yes, sir.
I would appreciate it if you and/or Senator Cornyn could educate me here on the so-called precedent of subpoenaing private citizens. Let me give you an example. I read recently where the FBI it has announced that it is prosecuting a prostitution ring here in Washington, and I understand it may be New York, or New Jersey. And the clients include prominent politicians and generals and lobbyists. And in order for the client to frequent this brothel, the client had to give his name, his address, his social security number, his credit card. Could we issue a subpoena for their names?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat it?
Do I have to repeat the whole thing?
No. I got the
You got the
prostitution
brothel
ring.
part, right?
Yeah. I was wondering
Okay.
if you said they were subpoenaing me. No.
No,
they're not. Yeah. Okay.
Under this precedent, will we be allowed to subpoena those names?
I don't know where we're going, I guess, Senator Kennedy. I know that the subpoenas were issued in the past that I'm aware of involving oversight function of an investigation by the Department of Justice. I know we've worked together to issue subpoenas to get people before the committee in the tech business who we think the companies in question are doing a lot of harm to the country. Leonard Leo and Harlan Crow are very prominent conservative people. And we're going after, you talk about Leonard Leo, like, where do you get your judges from? We get our judges from conservative people who make recommendations to us. Where do you get your judges from? You have liberal groups, I'm sure, recommending names. This is really dangerous, Senator Kennedy. There are 2 individuals, one's been working the committee for 4 months. They want to know anybody you ever saw that ever got on a plane you ever met at the gas station. It's beyond overbroad. It's chilling to me. I have literally begged my colleagues, please don't make me go down this road. Please don't make me have to fight back over this that is not going to advance any cause. You have picked political people you want to please over the smooth and efficient operation of the Judiciary Committee. You've made me and everybody on this side fight back because we believe what you're doing is politically motivated. There's not an ounce of legislative purpose in these subpoenas, because if you really gave a damn about legislation to fix the problem, you would bring the bill up to the floor that has passed this committee. So, yeah, this is really bad, Senator Kennedy. There is no limit to it. I hope you're satisfied over there.
Would the senator
Mr.
yield?
Chairman,
Chair will reclaim the time.
Could I-
Chair reclaims the time. I'm sorry, Senator Kennedy.
But I have another question.
Well, I'm sure you have plenty of questions. I recognize Senator Graham to tell the order of Republicans offering amendments. I want to make one statement, and then we'll proceed to ask Senator
it was a good
Blackburn.
question I
I'm
had,
sure it's good.
Mr. Chairman.
All your questions are good. Keep in mind, as we talk about the expanding the limit opportunity under subpoenas and whether we're going too far, we have named 2 individuals who we've worked with for months trying to secure this information. Let me tell you, 2 individuals, that's it, in the subpoenas so far. And I will tell you this too. Contrast that with the Republicans' unprecedented subpoena authorization in 2020 on Crossfire Hurricane. They provided the chair with a blanket authorization to subpoena more than 50 named persons and an unlimited number of unnamed persons. So the sanctity of the subpoena obviously was not the major consideration at that moment.
Can I ask you a question,
Senator
Mr. Chairman?
Blackburn, Senator Blackburn.
Would you yield for a question?
Well, wait a minute.
Senator Blackburn.
Senator Kennedy, Mr. Chairman, can I respond to what you said?
Of course.
Because I'm the one that sought the subpoenas.
Yes, it's true.
We were trying to find out how, in America, the FBI could use Christopher Steele's dossier that was full of lies and garbage to get warrants against American citizens. We're trying to find out how Crossfire Hurricane got off the rails to the point that the FISA court rebuked and issued sanctions against Department of Justice and FBI legal counsel for misrepresenting to the court the true nature of the facts. This is a political effort by the radical left to destroy this court. You have subpoenaed 2 prominent conservative people. You have ignored other problems with the court that Senator Blackburn would like to bring up to the committee. There's legislation you have passed before you did the subpoenas that would fix the problem. Why would you do the subpoenas after you pass legislation to fix the problem? You have chosen not to bring the legislation to the floor because it's unconstitutional. There is no legislative purpose here. This is politics, it's raw politics, it's dangerous politics, and this committee is taking the country down a very dark and dangerous road. That's the difference.
Will you yield for a question?
Yes.
First of all, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Ranking Member, isn't it true that the committee requested 25 years worth of documents from Mr. Crow, and Mr. Crow offered 5 years of those documents, notwithstanding the absence of a legislative purpose, notwithstanding the fact that he was under no obligation to do that?
That's correct.
Isn't it also true, Mr. Ranking Member, that on November 9th, 2023, what's that, 3 weeks ago, today, in this very hearing, our chairman, our committee chairman said from this very seat, quote, "It is within the power of the Chief Justice and his fellow justices to solve this problem before noon today, and they should have done so a long time ago." In other words, he was conditioning it upon the Supreme Court issuing its own code of conduct, which the Supreme Court has now done, which I haven't heard anyone describe as inadequate, insufficient. Wasn't that the entire condition precedent for this committee even considering that?
Well, all I can say is this is not about the Supreme Court.